This will be a mental health series. This is similar to something I did quite a few years ago, but no longer exists on the channel anymore. Now, when talking about mental health and stuff of that nature, I believe at least the way that I want to do it is transparency. So, quite a few disclaimers here. I am not a professional. I have never been trained. I just suffer with a hell of a lot of mental health problems slash quote unquote conditions. And I've been through a lot in my life. So, not professional, no training whatsoever. This is just me as a human being, just talking through experiences, possibly talking through, again, quote unquote, conditions. And that is it, basically. I hope through this series that I will possibly be able to work through some stuff, maybe be able to help people, maybe. Um, but mainly it's because I'm not a professional. I guess this is a place where I can talk that is safe and will be safe for you guys. So whether you guys get in on the conversation or not, that is completely up to you, and I completely understand. But more so, this is kind of a safe place. I can express myself. You guys can express yourself. Within that, though, trigger warnings. I'm not intending to trigger anyone. I don't want that, but obviously, when talking about mental health, stuff can get quite heavy, stuff can get quite serious, as it should be with mental health. But yeah, so I'm not intending to trigger, but trigger warnings ahead. Okay, guys. Before I fully jump into this video, I want to say something. NHS is an easy target. And it gets a lot of bad rap. Um, and, if it wasn't for the doctors and nurses, I wouldn't be here. And yeah, so I'm not. Uh, this isn't going to be about doctors and nurses. After saying that, moving and figuring out the way things are done where I am now, it's been a fucking nightmare. And my head is kind of had enough. It's really had enough. And my biggest gripe with everything that I've been going through at the moment, and it just so with what I'm about to say, yes, sometimes respect our staff and stuff, yes, that is needed, and there can be quite aggressive people out there. So I understand why. But when I've been messed around for 6 months, I've still not seen any of I've still not been able to see my GP, or a doctor in my GP. And it's... I'm really starting to lose my fucking rag about it. And it's really starting to get me down, honestly. And I feel like, you know, all those posters of respect staff and stuff, and again, sometimes it's needed because people can be aggressive. But when it gets to the point when they're telling me to calm down because I'm getting frustrated and angry because they have messed me around, and they give me that look as if you don't calm down, like we're gonna have to do something about this. It's a fucking joke. And I am sick of people using that as a defense for their actions, right? Well, receptionists and GPs. I'm getting real sick of it. And I'll give you guys an example. So the last time I was actually at my GP, I was trying to sort something out. And again, still never got an appointment, still never any of that, right? But I basically, we were waiting in queue, and there was this older lady who was asking about her appointment or whatever, and saying, look, I rang up and I rebooked it and I stuff. And the receptionist just like, yeah, no, you didn't. Okay, first of all, I'm sure the lady knows what she did. That's the first thing. This isn't some fucking kid that's walked in and is trying to pull a fast one, right? And this poor lady is trying to explain, and definitely in the twilight of her life, right? And this receptionist is just like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, what? could you maybe not dismiss her like she's a common criminal or something? I just it was really upsetting to me, really upsetting. And I just think that, and here's the thing: I've got a lot of friends and such in America, and I know it's really shitty over there, and and they think it's amazing over here, and all the rest of it. In comparison, I guess it is, but like it seems to be the receptionists seem like they believe they're higher than everybody else, and I don't get that. I don't. Whether it's a physical, a mental problem, whatever, right? I mean, obviously, if it's an urgent thing, you should definitely go to the hospital, right? But like, this is the first stop, right? If it's not that serious, where you don't need to go to hospital, but it's serious enough where you need some help with it, right? If you're met with that energy of that condescending, I'm better than you, and actually if you show any aggravation or anything, which of course people are going to get fucking aggravated, I'm gonna see it as being abusive or being aggressive. Um, and I just think that there is that it just blows my mind. It just absolutely blows my mind, and I'm utterly disgusted. Um, and it's really been making me angry, honestly. Like really been making me angry. Um, um, and stuff like that I see, and again, it wasn't some punk ass kid that was trying to get a fast one, right? This was a lady in her golden years or twilight years, and I just if someone like that can kind of talk to them for 5 seconds and get a human response, right? Because that's the other thing, a human response, not this fucking I I've been told to just dismiss you because we can't be asked to do our fucking jobs. Basically. Um, and it doesn't take much to understand that anyone that's going to a GP, and I understand some people go for like coughs and I've got a bit of a runny nose and all of that, and yeah, that can be a bit right. But most people, at least I like to believe, most people that go to a GP are going there because it's a serious thing, right? It's a serious thing. And I'm so sick of being looked down on when it's the place that was supposed to be going to get help. Right? And it's and I've been this way for a while now, just because GPs they're not there to listen. They're there to go, oh, how do I keep my job? At least that's the impression I've got. Because I've never seen or heard a GP. I've seen it with therapists and counsellors and hospital staff and stuff. And as I said, if it wasn't for hospitals, I wouldn't be here anymore. But it seems to be GPs are just, it seems to be the first lesson they're taught is if you're met with any aggression or frustration, which again, most of the time we've got valid reasons of why we're frustrated, right? Then it's no, we're not going to deal with you today, and rather than the first lesson should be, hey, like, talk to them, see what's wrong, approach it as a human being, right? And here's the thing, I say that and I realize that everyone can have a shitty day. I understand that. But this has been time and time again where I'm living now. They just have this real, I'ma look down on you, you know, uh, you know, and real kind of condescending tones. And I just think that I think it's going to get to the point where somebody's going to snap at a GP office, because if let's say that lady was with the grandson, right? Or son, or daughter, or granddaughter, or whatever, right? And because I'll tell you one thing, if I had someone talking to my nan and granddad like that, I'd kick off. And probably the only reason why I'd kind of swallow it down is because I wouldn't want to kick off in front of them, right? Um, to give you guys an example, you know, if you've listened to a few of my videos, you all know how much I loved my nan and granddad. Um, but I just think that, you know, it's unfair that they're able to hide behind it, and the frustration is because of them. The frustration is they don't explain things properly, the condescending way they speak, the look down on you mentality, the can't get a straight fucking answer because it will change constantly. Like they don't seem to know the policies and rules of their own GP. And here's the thing, if it's a ruling that you don't like, then fine, and you can bitch and moan about that, but it is the ruling. As long as that ruling is, that's what it is every single time, you know. And I just think that, you know, it's an absolute joke. And again, in my head, the GPs are useless, and I just never want to deal with them. And I'm sorry if you're listening to this and you yourself or a friend or a family member works in a GP or is a receptionist for a GP, but the last few years, like last few years, like this is going on for a while now, I haven't met a nice receptionist. I haven't met an understanding doctor. I haven't met, you know, it's all about what pills do you want? Okay, let's get you in, let's get you out. Okay, next customer, you know, sort of thing. And we're not fucking customers. Like, a GP office is not the place where we should feel like customers. And it's really got me down, and it's really got me quite agitated, actually, and very angry. I just wanted to share this, and I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm just stabbing at an easy target. That's not what this is. I just think that it's got to change, and don't bring up the budget to me. You don't need money to be a nice, pleasant person, so fuck off if that's your thought process. Oh god. I sorry, guy. I'm really agitated by it, and I'm really getting angry over it. I'm gonna end it here, and yeah, I hope some of this has made sense, but enough is enough now, GPs.